Harris and Biden are doing horribly in the polls, and they need an establishment candidate in office so that they can go to war. That's where this recession that's been going on since September comes in. The housing market has been stagnant since before September of last year. There have been tons of foreclosures since September of last year. And it's only getting worse. But they're not going to really announce it, which would signal a massive domino effect until later this year or sometime early next year. And the reason why they're going to do that is so that once you create an economic climate, it makes it very hard for pedestrians to vote with their dollar, which they hate anyway. And then once they're in that desperate situation, you have them by the balls and you can get away with damn near anything. And that's where some piece of garbage like Kamala or Joe Biden shine like a diamond. By that time, they'll probably get Andrew Yang out of the way. They're already trying to get Tulsi Gabbard out of the way. And then it'll be left with Bernie Sanders. And they'll crush him in the primaries. So once one of the establishment candidates who are both failing right now blow up, and this is just a theory, but once one of those guys blow up, it's them versus Trump. And they really don't mind Trump because he's an establishment guy. He's close to the Clintons. He was close to Epstein. There's a lot of documentation out there connecting him to a lot of the pedophiles, at least via civil suits. I mean, there just are. So what they'll do is they'll use that to get an establishment guy in there, beat the war drums, and people will be too busy trying to find jobs to expose what's going on. Just like once the 2008 crisis went into full effect, they went in there and bombed the hell out of Libya and started trying to go to war with Syria via proxy. Then they started the Arab Spring, and they covered up the fact that in Bahrain, the U.S. soldiers were helping the Saudis keep their puppet in power. Of course, we saw what happened in Yemen, where Obama was bombing the hell out of people with drones. And then, of course, America helped stamp out the civil war and Arab Spring in Saudi Arabia during that time. So that's one of the good things about recessions for the white supremacist oligarch, is that they get to use it to attack nations without the anti-war crowd getting too ramped up. And they're not going to allow an Occupy Wall Street type situation because America doesn't really have that much freedom. And you saw what Obama did to the Occupy guys. They crushed them. China can barely contain what's going on in Hong Kong because they have too much freedom. Because they actually follow the tenets of communism. It's true. And they actually held to the agreement with England on Hong Kong. So you've got democracy in a communist nation where I'm not saying there's some perfect utopia, but they're very to the letter, as it were, when it comes to their agreements. And so that's where we are. So we'll see next year. We're going to see next year if I'm right.